Hello and welcome back to another episode of Walkabout. Today's intro is being shot on a fisheye lens because why not? And today's episode was shot on this Lomography simple use reloadable film camera, which is kind of like a disposable, but it's reusable and you can buy it from Lomography and it comes with one of their films preloaded. Mine came with Lomochrome Metropolis 400, which is their newest film. It's kind of like a slightly less saturated film stock. It's really cool. This is my first time trying it out. Let's jump right into the pictures and we'll talk about my thoughts at the end. So now that you've seen the pictures, let's talk about the camera and the film. By the way, I'm totally not shooting the intro and the outro back to back. I took like a 2-minute break in between. But anyway, so this camera is practically similar to most disposables. It's got a fixed lens, fixed focus 1 meter to infinity, fixed f9 aperture. The lens is about 31 millimeters, and the shutter is set to 1/120th of a second. It's got a built-in flash, but what's special about this is that the flash comes with 3 gels, a magenta gel, a cyan gel, and a yellow gel, and you can mix and match. However, when you do use them, the power of the flash gets considerably weaker. So they're not like ideal for shooting at night unless you're shooting like portraits, which is kind of really the desired length of what you're going for with disposables. I find that that's where they're sharpest. Anyway. Aside from that, the other extra feature that this camera has is you can actually, once you're done, pop the back and you can put in your film. You can put in a new film and reuse it. I'm not entirely sure how many reuses the battery is rated for, but once we use it a little bit more, we'll probably get a better idea. I also found that this camera wasn't, well, at least I think from what I was trying to shoot, I took a few more pictures than you actually saw in the video because I was trying to shoot a little bit more at night. I thought maybe the flash could compensate, but using the gels at night, like for landscape type shots, wasn't ideal, and I probably should have known that. That's on me. And even in slightly hazier conditions, I don't know if it was the camera necessarily or the film, it didn't really like it when I didn't give it like a lot of light. So in shots that were pretty much well lit or just straight up sunny, it seemed to perform really well. Some of the pictures were really good, they were sharp, but in general a lot of the other pictures are just on like overcast days where it wasn't super dark but it wasn't super bright either, and it just didn't seem to capture too much. So I guess if you're going to be using this or similar disposables, you want to be using flash more. I will, however, load it up with some more film to really get a handle on how this handles as maybe a starter film camera if you can't find a point and shoot and you want to use something like this. Ilford also makes a reusable disposable. Anyways, a couple more things about this is this comes in a couple of varieties. You can get it preloaded with Lomo Color 400 or with their black and white film or with Lomochrome 400, the purple. But this one is the Metropolis, and honestly the film, let's talk about the film now, because the film is my first time shooting that, and I thought it was going to be far more desaturated, which honestly was surprising when I saw the pictures, because I kind of like how it looks. It looks nice. It's different from a lot of the other films. It's got a little bit of like a old school cinema type of look. It's not super punchy in any of the colors, which is normally what you get out of disposables. You get colors that are like very, very bright and saturated. Personally, I think the film did really well with lots of sunlight. It didn't blow out the highlights too much. It did quite a good job in preserving like a nice look. And so I probably will try out Lomochrome Metropolis on another camera, perhaps something where I get more control over how it looks. So once I use this a little bit more, I'll get a better handle of whether or not I think this is a worthwhile investment, because you know, it's about 30 Canadian dollars, which is a little bit on the steep side when you can pick up, you know, point and shoots at charity shops for like $5. So why would you want this? I will say though, it's not that bad a deal when you factor in the price of the film, because the film that comes in this, even though it's like 27 exposures, you still get film that on its own is like worth at least like half the price, if not, you know, even 2/3. So it's not a horrible deal, because it's still a usable camera, and if you use it right, or if you use it more for just taking pictures of your friends like you would with a normal disposable, or just, you know, regular, you know, family outings and things like that, it's probably going to get the job done, because you're most likely going to be shooting in nicer conditions. You're not going to be shooting overcast, cloudy skies as much. So it could very well work. But we'll load it up with some 800 and we'll have a look to see if it can produce any better results. In the meanwhile, stay tuned for my next video, which will be on a Leica 3, and I'm not entirely sure what film it will be just yet, but I will figure that out. See you in the next one.